Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. It is LinkedIn After Dark, y'all. And it's my birthday, which my balloon just fell off the desk. I got my shoes off. I got a dip in my mouth, something I never do while I'm alive. So yeah, I'm excited. And look, y'all, this guest that I have coming up, and there's already all kinds of people showing up in the comments. That is what's up. My guest tonight, if y'all don't know Julie, then y'all are not doing LinkedIn right. She's just always so bubbly and so fun. And I was talking to her backstage. One of my favorite things about her is the heart reaction is her go-to reaction. So without anything else to say, hi, Julie.
Hi,
Thank you.
I hate that your balloon fell down. I feel like we need to
let me fix that
happy birthday to you.
Yeah, hang on, let me fix that.
I feel like there's plenty of people in the comments wishing me happy birthday. They're singing along. Happy birthday to you. Cha, cha, cha. Happy birthday. You're doing a thing. Happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you.
I mean, who goes live on their birthday? I mean, This is true LinkedIn love and dedication is what this is. Yeah.
Let me get to the comments. Jeff is here. What's up, Jeff? Hey,
I mean, everyone loves you. Look how loved and birthday love you are.
Holly. That is my brother-in-law, Austin Webb. I have never seen, he's never been on one of my lives before. I've never even seen him on LinkedIn.
Hey, nighttime time.
Yeah, exactly. That might be what it is.
LinkedIn
and look,
After Dark.
I was messing with my sister. He's married to my sister. And I was like, yeah, I sent Austin a connection request on LinkedIn like 3 months ago. Like it took him forever to accept my connection request. So anyway, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Alex, Deanna, boom, boom. Lots of people showing up.
Telling you happy birthday.
Yeah, Stephen Rogers.
That's awesome.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
I mean, Chris, you're loved on LinkedIn.
Yeah, man. Like it was really, really a blessing today. Like I started getting DMs happy birthday yesterday afternoon, evening from my connections overseas.
Cool.
And I bet I've gotten over 100 DMs today. And then Ariel Lee did a post wishing me happy birthday. I know, right? Like Ariel.
Yes.
And then Nathan Winsenreed did a post, and then Aaron did a post and realized it was my birthday and went back and edited it and put a note in there to happy birthday. So
that's cool.
Yeah, lots of love today.
I was gonna say I'm impressed with all these people who can keep up with all the things. I mean, I was like, it's your birthday.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a setting in there where you can get notified of people's in your network birthday or whatever. And I'm gonna be honest, like half the time, unless I just really know the person, I don't say happy birthday. But I got happy birthdays from people that I never talked to today. So it was like, it was cool. It was a blessing.
That's cool. That's super cool. I was about to ask you about it.
No.
I mean,
this is a family show, mostly.
Family show.
It is LinkedIn After Dark.
I mean, LinkedIn After Dark.
And, you know, that's exactly where Allie's head's going to go because she's in Vegas. So that's like, you know, the land of the strip clubs and the club, you know, regular clubs and all that. So,
wow. We're talking about how I put hearts on things.
Yeah, hearts on everything.
And then we're talking about LinkedIn After Dark.
We're talking about
Allie goes straight to PG-13.
Slowly.
What's in your coffee cup?
I know, right?
Coffee. That's
speaking of hearts and love and all that kind of stuff. You know, I had the graphic I did yesterday that had both our pictures on there. I'm not real good in Canva, but I was trying to make one in Canva today, and it was like a pink background with a red heart, and I put you in it, and I thought, well, I need to put me in it too. So I was like, I cannot have me and Julie both in a heart.
Like we're in love.
Like we're in love. Yeah. Like let's not get people the wrong idea here.
I mean, again, LinkedIn After Dark.
After Dark, right.
Oh, I love it.
I went to Dallas Sunday and met one of my connections, first LinkedIn connection I've ever met in real life. Yeah, I met Miranda McCauley. And we had a great time. We searched out a mural, went and did like a little photo op or whatever. So we're standing there and there was somebody else taking pictures there too. And we asked them to take a picture of us. And so, you know, we posed and did a couple pictures, and she said, okay, now turn around and smile and look at each other. And we were both like,
not that kind of picture.
Yeah, not that kind of relationship.
She's my LinkedIn friend.
Yeah, she's my LinkedIn friend. Yeah,
That's
let's not get
funny.
it twisted.
Oh, I love that. That's cool
Yeah.
that you got to meet somebody.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I always say that LinkedIn is, it's my very favorite of all the social medias because you give and people give back.
Yeah.
And you really do build relationships. And of course,
Really?
relationships are my thing.
Mhm.
And they're where my heart really is. And so I love that. I love feeling like, but I will tell you, I didn't know what I was getting myself into at first. And so like the blow up of LinkedIn, and I'm on other things too, and working all the things that I work, I'm like, man, keeping up is a little bit hard.
Yeah.
But
And
I'm learning from people like you.
And I am only on LinkedIn. I am not anywhere else. And I say this all the time. I got on LinkedIn thinking I was going to make some business related posts and get a bunch of business, and found out real quick it doesn't work like that. And I have not gotten any business off of LinkedIn.
Really?
Not a single customer, but I've made those relationships and made really real friends. I have people's phone numbers in my phone. We talk, we text. I would let them come stay at my house just anytime.
Yep.
Adam,
you got it. Relationships are where it's at, man.
Adam is my brother from another mother, man. Like he's a Southern boy too. And you know, he'll post like Waylon Jennings or Johnny Cash lyrics. And I'm like, I'll finish that line for you.
Yes.
Yeah. It's okay. We don't hold it against you.
I mean, I do. I want to be in Vegas with you.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly.
The part of Texas I'm hanging out in.
Yeah.
I'd much rather be. Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah.
Yep, Holly,
so sweet.
besties.
I love it. Oh.
Val. And this might be the time to do lives because I've been struggling, like getting my 5 or 6 o'clock time. I've been doing good to get like 8 people, and we've got like 13 people here right now.
I mean, we could be changing, the way you do.
Yeah.
LinkedIn after dark.
Maybe so.
And, you know, for me, I know that we talked about the time and you were just so sweet about trying to pretend that I'm awesome enough for this time when the reality is my schedule is so crazy.
No, I know.
And I have 2 small children. And so by the time, you know, we finish practice and we do dinner and, you know, I get kids to bed, I was like, okay, like, the one time that I really can guarantee that there's not going to be small children walking in is going to be after dark. So here we are.
Yeah, I think you're right, Adam. That might be the only bad thing about it is I've got to come to work to do them because my internet at home sucks.
Yeah.
But it might be worth it. I mean, it's only one night a week.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Who knows what can happen.
I'm not the only one with, you know, jobs that they're juggling probably and kids. And so this might be a reality piece. Like,
exactly.
Real life friends.
And, you know, 6 p.m. She said, actually, you have 11. They left after my comment. Whoops. Well, we have 14 now, so we're doing good. Because there's
no more talk about strippers.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kidding.
Bring it on.
I mean, don't leave.
Yeah. So she's my friend too, but she's in like the little unicorn group with Amy Leanne Wills. She uses that hashtag LinkedIn After Dark a lot. She'll post the most random stuff at night and then use that hashtag. It's hilarious.
I love it.
But yeah, the 5 or 6 o'clock time, you know, people are getting home from work. People have kids. People have athletic practices and school functions and all that. So this might be the thing to do.
Well, I'm glad that we could make that happen together.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on. Like I've been looking forward to this since we scheduled it a week or so ago.
Oh man, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
I'm super glad you asked.
So we know you as the woman who is always smiling, always dancing, always encouraging. So tell us about the relationship re-vamper. Is that what your headline says? I can't go to it.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many parts to what you just said that I want to talk about. I'd like to talk about like
Let's
just
go
realist. I mean, but I'll start with relationship.
Work your way down.
I mean, there's a lot of pieces. People might get real tired of like, oh man. But I was a teacher. I was just telling you a little bit ago. I was a teacher for 13 years at the high school level. I was actually the speech and debate coach at the 6A school here in San Angelo. Our team was incredible. I loved coaching. I'm super competitive. But more than anything, I really love building relationships with kids because I'd have those kids for 3 and 4 years, and we traveled 2 weekends a month from September to June. So you know those kids like really well. And I, building relationships was my thing. I was really good at coaching like half the events and really awful at coaching the other half. But our kids did great in all the events. Like we were top 5% in the nation when I left. And I was not like incredible at all those things, but my kids were incredible.
Yeah.
It took some time for me to realize the difference really was the relationships and how we build them. And I had a couple of teachers that I worked with that I realized not everybody builds relationships like maybe we should. And then I had a couple kids who were like, Schneers, you are the only one who does X, Y, and Z. So then that's when I kind of, actually, after some kids pushed me out of my comfort zone. Isn't that funny? Like full circle. I had ex-students coming back and they were like, why are you still teaching? You should be doing this. You should be speaking about this. You should be consulting about this and teaching. And I'm like, okay, that's so sweet. No, right? Until people were like, hey, will you come speak to us? Will you come to our school district and share with us? I was like, well, okay, this is kind of great. And I realized that maybe I needed to grow myself.
Yeah.
So I did with the help, like literally I had old students help me create my website. I had old students who wrote my bio because I was like, I can't do it. I don't know what's good about me anymore. Like I've been in this mentality for so long. I really have had to grow myself. But it was students that kind of walked me through like what I was good at in relationship building. And then I just realized, gosh, the world really needs positivity. And then COVID, right? Like, what we've got to put good out there. And oh man, the more I work with adults, I'm like, I think I liked working with high school kids better. I mean, surely everyone can put some love out there every now and then, but there's some negative Nancy's. And you know what? I get it. Sharing is caring. Yes. But let's share in a good way so that we can care in a kind way. But in working with adults, I've kind of just learned relationships aren't a high school teacher thing. It is not just a teacher thing or a classroom thing. It's a human thing. Yep. So when I thought that I was going to speak and consult with education organizations and school districts, and then I had businesses go, hey, we've got a problem with our doctors and our secretaries. Can you come in and work with us on relationships? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, okay, and then you're like, oh, you guys are really mean to each other. Let's talk about that,
Right.
And so really, let's do some team building things that I did with high school kids. Yep, I'm going to make you do it. I know that you're adults, but we're going to get into small groups and we're going to share. What's one thing you wish that the person sitting next to you knew, because you could be kinder to each other if you knew those things. And it's just amazing kind of what's happened. Yeah. Positivity is important, but the other truth is, I have had my struggles too. No one can be positive all the time. And I love that you say that I'm like this positive piece. That is so awesome. But the truth also is, because I'm also very bold and blunt, and I want to be transparent because I think that's crazy important for our kids. I think it's crazy important for people to see that it's not always bubbly. Depression is something that I've struggled with in my life. I've had to really work hard to look into my own self as to, what are things that I need to work on me so that I can be my best me for the people around me and the people that are in my circle of influence. And I think that's important, to just be honest and be real, but always keep working on you. And I think that is the difference between working with high school kids and working with adults. So high school kids are in this mentality of, I'm still growing, I'm still learning, and I'm still in school. So I need to keep growing myself. And this person may need to write a letter of recommendation for me. Or in my case, this person's my coach and they get to decide if I get to travel this weekend to the tournament or not. I need to actually show my effort. And in an adult world, they're like, screw it. So I don't know. It's just a difference.
Yeah. Kenny, how did you not get a live notification? Did you click the remind me button? And Kenny is positive all the time. Are you connected to him?
I don't know that I am.
Oh my gosh. If not, you need to be. He is awesome.
Okay.
Are you connected to Val?
I'm going to go through your list. I'm going to go through your list and I'm just going to meet all your friends and ask them to be my friends too.
Yeah. Yeah, high school kids will let you know.
Oh, for sure. And you know what, Adam? That's the difference too. And I talk about that when I speak. I have this acronym, and it's ask and answer questions. That's the A in my lean in, because the reality is, and I always talk about this when I talk, I have a friend, she's super positive and she's super bubbly and everything's always perfect. And she's the very last person I would ever share my struggle with. Right? Because if it's not real, if she's not going to be real with me, I can't be real with her.
No,
and
right
Adam's
on.
so right. And kids are going to be like, yeah, you're whatever.
You're full
Kids
of
aren't
ish.
going to talk to you if you're not going to be willing to be open and real and honest with them. Be willing to ask questions and answer questions. I think that's human nature though, right? Like you should be real.
You should be. You shouldn't always be acting like you know, I say that you're always bubbly and smiling and stuff, but I know that you don't have Kool-Aid coming out of your water fountain.
I mean, we're doing a LinkedIn Live at 9 because Julie can't like juggle anymore.
Yeah, right. That's kind of what I meant when I said cool enough to come on at 9. Like I knew when you said that, like you were busy.
Yeah.
And just the fact that you did it, like I understood that. So that was was cool.
Sweet. Yeah. Life's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's normal.
Yeah, it is, right. Yeah. So you work mainly do you still work with kids?
You know what? I do some private coaching with kids, which kind of I'm getting a master's in executive coaching and consulting. And that's a thing. And I love that degree. I love the classwork that I've had to do. I love the growth that I've had to do. And it's really grown me. Yes. Be real. Or I cannot even. Yeah. I'm not good at it. I don't do fake well. So when I'm smiling, Jeff, it is legit real. I mean, like legit, I promise.
Yeah, she already did.
Kenny, I sang to him. I sang happy birthday. I did. Yep. I cha-cha'd and everything. Yep, she did that. What was I even talking about? I can't even remember. Kids. I was too excited about your cha-cha.
Yeah. Private coaching with kids degree.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it kind of opened up some realms. Do I still work with kids? So it kind of opened up some realms for kids. And I had parents who knew me and knew kind of how I was as a coach that personally said, hey, we need help with our kid. Could you work one-on-one? I was like, yeah, actually, that's something it's in my wheelhouse. And then one person tells another person, tells another person. So now I'm like, okay, I'm full on coaching. So I kind of coach high school kids on confidence. It's one of the pieces that I have put into my puzzle. And I'm so passionate about that, which is funny because confidence is something that I struggled with for a long time. I know that you can't see that I'm sitting down, but I'm almost 5'10", and I was 5'6" in the 5th grade. So there's a lot about being ginormous when you're young, and kids are like, oh, she's huge. And it kind of just molded my mentality. So confidence is something I struggled with a lot. And so being able to coach kids on confidence is kind of just a neat full circle piece that I really am invested in, because it's so important, can totally change your trajectory. But then in my consulting business, I do businesses, I do school districts, and then speaking keynotes, like whoever wants to hire. And I've got a couple programs. I talk about the power of communication and connecting and how that creates confidence. I talk about relationship building. I talk about goal setting. And I do some team building stuff, but that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I'm supposed to be when I grow up. Because right now I love it all. And so I just keep saying yes. If you come in my path and you seem beautiful, the answer is yes. And when I'm overwhelmed and doing lives at 9, that's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you say consulting, you talking about the relationship building stuff you were talking about earlier?
Yeah. So, I mean, consulting can mean a couple things. I've had school districts that have said, we need help because we've got a negative feel in our entire staff. So this one school district, I went in and we did a whole entire day, and we split the school district up into small groups, and we talked about what our personal strengths and weaknesses are. And we talked about what our school strengths and weaknesses are. And then they shared with me, and then I shared with the group. And the reality was, when an outside person is going, look, here are the missing pieces. This is what this looks like. Like, I'm a puzzle maker in my head. I can see and I can kind of put things together. And I was able to share out and create kind of a plan with their district to help them build on what their weaknesses across the board were the same. I mean, like 90% of the groups are like, communication from leadership sucks. And of course, leadership, they're not going to tell leadership that, but they'll tell somebody when it's an anonymous answer in a consulting group that.
Right.
And so, you know, getting to be kind of the hands and feet of the people and bringing a fix or ideas forward with them as a group so that they can create the change that needs to happen. And I just get to be the guidance, and I get to be the sound voice of reason, and kind of coach them through it. That's my favorite kind of consulting. But, yeah.
Well, it sounds like
I'm all
it's really
bold.
in depth. Yeah, you're bold and you're having to break it down and analyze it and think about it.
Yeah, and I love that. The debate mind.
Yeah,
right?
and tell
the
people what to do.
storyteller.
And yeah.
But then I also get to see like, oh, you have problems. And then, you know, people get to be heard. But, you know, to have an outside person go, hey, I wonder what you think about this. This is what I'm seeing in the data, or this is what your surveys say. What does it look like if we did this different? You know, questions that they absolutely can do. And, you know, the purpose of a coach is just to bring out the best in you that is already there. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm a coach. So the questions really are, how can we make you your best you? Because it's already there. You've got all the skills you need to be incredible. It's just helping you tap into them.
Right.
Steven, you said, oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
No, go ahead. He didn't know what he wants to be when he grows up.
Yeah, Steven, I'm 36. Me neither.
Y'all are making me feel old, man.
Oh, don't say that. It's your birthday. You're so young and beautiful. And yeah. But you know what, Steven? I say that all the time. And my career shift, like recent career shift, is like, I feel like I'm starting over. I am starting over. And this isn't the only thing I do. So our local university, I work there, Angela State University. I work there part-time as the director of schools and college relations also. Okay. And so, yeah, I mean, Steven, I have no idea what I'm going to be when I grow up. You're okay. You're not alone.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to grow up.
Don't do it.
Ever don't do it. Exactly.
Don't do it.
Way overrated.
Yes, it is. Adam, I love your comment.
Yep, that is awesome.
The bold, swift kick. And you know what? That's what I do. That's who I was as a speech and debate coach too. I'd be like, this isn't going to work. You are wonderful, and I believe in you, and you're not going to do that because it won't be successful. Okay.
So and you probably did it with that same smile on your face.
Let's figure this out together. Okay. Because we're going to switch it up so that maybe it works for everybody. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of how I coach too. Hey, it worked.
Yeah,
it worked. You just pile it with some beautiful, and you know what, and I had plenty of people comment about this in my coaching, my teaching career. I was really, really good at finding the thing I loved about every person I worked with. Like, this is what I love about you. And you know what? I had my first national champion was homeless. So, you know, we had all kinds of kids. It was not just the uppity up. It wasn't just the kids who were going to go to TCU and UT. Like we had all kinds of kids on my team. And I was proud of that because I wanted everyone to feel like they had a purpose and a voice if that's what they wanted to do. But the reality also is sometimes kids came to me with baggage, right? So I don't care what your baggage is. I'm going to find the one thing I love about you, and I'm going to hold on to that thing, and we're going to grow that strength until you can see how beautiful you are, and then we'll get rid of the crap, right? And that's how I coached. It also bit me in the butt a couple times because kids would be like dealing drugs on the side. I'd be like, well, I have to kick you off the team. And the whole team was like, Schneers, he's been doing that for 6 months. I'm like, but he was such a beautiful worker. Like, I loved how he wrote original oratories. Sometimes I was blinded by my, like, let's find beautiful, like, let's put hearts on things. But I also was able to pull a lot of kids and teachers that I worked with into places of strength because nobody had believed in them like that. And you know what? If I get slapped in the face for trying too hard to find the beautiful, then I can take it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd rather have that. And that's true with anybody I work with. I want to find the beautiful that is there and pull those strengths out in any school district or any business or any person that I get to coach. Because I've needed that in my life. I've needed people to go, here's what's great about you. And I want you to see it. And I'm going to keep reminding you how wonderful you are until you see it. And we're going to work on the other parts after you know I'm behind you.
Yes, that'll preach, boy. Golly. Have you ever seen the movie Freedom Riders? Oh,
I mean, I
my
think
God.
every teacher's seen that movie, right? Like I show it in class every year. They're
So
like, I believe in you. You're gonna be wonderful.
you know the character that played Ava,
Mm.
the little Puerto Rican girl,
Yeah.
or Mexican, or whatever. I think she was Mexican
Okay.
in the. I'm connected with her on LinkedIn, and she was on my show a couple months ago,
What?
and she wrote a book called Embracing Me. Um,
Yeah.
and she
Wow,
hasn't done a
Chris.
whole lot since then, like acting wise. She's done a little bit, but she uses her voice. She came out of a bad, and I don't know where I'm going with this, but she came out of a bad relationship where it was, intimate partner abuse and stuff like that. And so
Mm.
she uses her voice for
Mm.
that. She wrote a book.
Yeah, that's
Um,
incredible. I'm jealous.
yeah, and like she's an amazing person, like not pretentious. She wouldn't think she'd ever
Yeah.
done anything in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Um, And she was
Wow.
like, "You need to watch Freedom Riders, not just because I'm in it, but because it's a good movie." So I
It is a
bought
good
it.
movie.
Yeah, and I was like, "Holy crap, that is a good
No,
movie." I don't know how I never saw it.
it's such a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
And the reality is that story is true not only because it's based on a nonfiction story,
yeah,
right?
right.
But it's true because it exists for many of our kids, you guys. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and I birthday cake. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it's deserve.
Yes.
When I left the classroom, it was after doing some digging, and one of the biggest pieces that hit me in the face when I made the decision to possibly speak out and fight for relationships is this: our mental health numbers in this nation for teens, really ages like 16 to 24, they're terrible, y'all. And COVID didn't help them.
Right.
But in every high school classroom, the suicide rate is 1 in 12. Depression is one in 10. And this isn't, I'm sad, having a bad day. This is, I could be clinically depressed.
Right.
Anxiety is 1 in 4. And 1 in 7 students walk the halls of every day in high school thinking that not a single teacher cares about them as a person. And 50% of our students are not involved in an extracurricular activity. Think about who really reeled you in, right? Like who saw you from sophomore year to senior year. It's like your football coach. It's your speech and debate coach. It's your choir teacher. It's your cheer sponsor. So if you're a kid who is not involved in anything, that could mean that from your sophomore year to your junior year, if your depression worsens, your math teachers don't notice because there are different math teachers, right? 15.32 million students are living with a single parent who is possibly working 2 jobs, right? So, and I saw this in the classroom constantly. So when I started digging into numbers, I'm like, well, that makes complete sense, right? Like I'm a mom, and my first year, let's do this example. I had a kid. She fell asleep in my class religiously. And I was like, what, really my lessons, I'm staying up pretty late trying to work on them and be fun. Okay. I'm smiling and I'm loving, and I don't know what's happening here. And that's first year teachers. Like I was doing everything.
Yeah.
I was going to get them all. I was freedom writers on a roll. Like I could do this. I want them all to be in love with what I teach, And then she shared with me that her dad had left the home. Her mom was working 2 jobs. She had 3 siblings. So she came home from school. She went to work. She got off work when her mom was going to work, and they flipped kid duties, right? She's a high school kid, being a parent, going to school all day and taking care of a job. She was exhausted. You want to talk about why she's falling asleep? And so one of the issues that I find when I work with school districts a lot of times, which is not necessarily a teacher problem, it's a state problem, and we won't get into why we should be lobbying against the STAR test, but teachers who are like, these are the objectives on the board, and this is what I'm going to teach today. But the reality is sometimes we need to teach kindness, and we need to teach love, and we need to teach, hey, are you okay? Because if they're not okay, they're not going to learn from you anyway. Right. So building that relationship so that your kids can have those conversations with you is crucial when our mental health is sitting where it's sitting and our broken homes are sitting where they're sitting. Educators are the front lines, and not to put more pressure on educators because they don't need that. Lord knows we don't get paid enough for it. So really when I talk, it's not about the pressure. It's about, hey, take the pressure off of trying to be perfect in history, because 69% of them are going to go on YouTube and learn it anyway, right?
Yeah.
But be the front lines of, hey, are you okay? How's your day? What's going on? Because I promise they'll learn more when they know you care. But how do you do that? Relationship building. That's what we talk about. So I'll get off my soapbox about
No, I love it.
and
I love it.
and my passion for that. But
no,
yeah.
that's why I wanted you on. Like I wanted to know the passion. I wanted to get to know the passion behind the person.
Thanks. Well, there's part of it.
Yeah.
Yes. Being empathetic. Yes. And you know what? I think every teacher's built to be empathetic and love it. No teacher joined going, you know what? Summers off and this great pay are so great. Like, I don't think,
right. Yeah,
I don't think there's a single teacher, because really summers, and I could break it down for 90% of teachers. I went to conferences in between and I worked for the next year. And if you counted the hours that I worked, especially as a coach, because, we'd get home at 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and there was my weekend. And I didn't get paid extra necessarily. So the truth is that teachers definitely work the same hours. Summer break's not really a thing, and I hate that people consider that to be a perk, because it's not. It's survival is what it is. Like a regular.
You need those 2 months to decompress.
Yeah, and get ready for the next year. Conferences, and we're doing professional development hours and tech hours, and so teachers don't need one more thing on their plate, but I do think there are some keys, I think, and not just teachers, but for people in general. I think there are a couple of things that are really crucial to moving forward and being your best. And I think communicating with others is important, and how you do that. I think communicating with yourself. What message are you telling your own head and heart? Because here's the other truth, right? If you are a negative Nancy, you're going to project negative Nancy in your classroom, in your business, to your clients, right? So what are you communicating with your own head and heart? And then what are you communicating with other people? And then how are you connecting with what's going on in your world? How are you connecting to the goals that you've set to make sure you really have a good handle of what's going on? And those communication and connection pieces are going to be what equals confidence. That's where we're looking at building our confidence a little bit differently and strategically, in my mind. Well, hey, you know what? A friend of Chris's is a friend of mine. That's what I would say. So you know what? We can befriend each other and make him a better birthday post next year together.
Come on.
Oh man.
This is Loopy. She is a professor, and I'm sorry, Loopy, I don't even know where. She had a question.
And you know what? I do not implement that, and I am excited to learn more. Loopy,
right on.
Send me an invite.
Yes, Loopy's amazing. She's from Texas too. She's a Texan.
Where? Loopy,
Austin.
where are you from?
ATX,
Austin.
baby.
Man, Austin's one of my favorite places. I love taking students to UIL State. I love being able to be in Austin, do conferences there. Hey, but Loopy, really, send me an invite. I'm all in for growing myself in every way, especially a suggestion that you think is awesome. Yeah.
She posted a picture last night of Cubano arroz con pollo, chicken and rice, Cuban chicken and rice. It looked amazing. Oh my gosh. Like I wanted to drive to Austin last night. I think it was last night.
I was going to say, I'm impressed that you're so good at keeping up with everybody.
Oh, I'm not that
You
great.
are a relationship builder, Chris.
I am. That is what, and I think I started to say this and got sidetracked. Maybe I didn't. See, keeping up. I don't keep up that well. Not even on my old live show. But I came to LinkedIn thinking I was going to get business, and then stayed for the relationships.
Yeah.
I did tell you that. I did tell you that. Yep.
You did. And I love that.
Yeah, and she's originally from Jersey. Yep. Kenny's from Texas too. I forgot about that.
Hey,
Kenny's from Sugar Land.
Kenny, do you know Dr. Joe Coleman? He was a principal at Sugar Land High School, I think. He was the principal that hired me at Central.
Really?
And then I'll never forget my very first evaluation with him. The only thing he said, he leaned over to one of the students and he said, "How do you think she walks in those heels all day?" And the kid goes, "I don't know, but she does it every day."
You wore
that
heels?
was it. I wear heels every
speaking?
day. Oh,
really?
High school, and those kids could hear me clicking. down the hall. I mean, like, I'm like dressed the part, you know. I did. Okay, here's a fun tidbit about Julie. So I did pageantry back in the day. Kenny, he was the principal at Sugarland High School for a little while. Dr. Joe Coleman. Yeah. But I did pageantry for a little bit because I fell into it. I was a kid, like taught myself how to do my own makeup, and I don't know what's happening. And I went for a scholarship with our local Lions Club. And then that turned into, hey, this coach, he was like, I'll coach you for free if you'll do Miss Lubbock. And I'm like, no. And then finally I did Miss Lubbock, and I was Miss Lubbock USA when I was at Tech. Yeah. And I was Miss Caprock. I have a couple titles that I ended up doing. And I love them. My favorite part though, of course, the speaker in me, right, was I got to speak to schools, and I talked about how God grew me from the inside out. And the Texas Tech paper put out an article about how it was the biggest Miss Lubbock that they'd had at a size 6. So you want to talk about like
hang on.
Confidence hang-ups. I'm like, did that come out in the Tech paper? I'm sitting on the bus, and then there's people in the picture and like, oh, it's like, oh.
That's what they chose to write about.
There was some statements about that, my size, and
and a size 6 is not even big.
I mean, in pageant world, which is really the stereotype about pageantry that I hate, but I also am like, pageantry grew me so much in my confidence, but it also taught me to fake it till I make it, which is what I train kids when I was in the classroom. I was like, I know you don't know this, but believe in me, you're going to be amazing. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is just to step in and do your thing. And if you get lost or you start struggling, you just pretend you know what's going on, which my speech and debate coach said to me in high school. And then my pageantry coach said to me, and so it kind of became a thing of, I feel like I can do this in the back of my head, but can I keep pushing forward? And I, kind of learned,
that's how you have to do it, man. You have to get in there and just do it, because you don't know till you know.
Yeah, you don't know till you know.
I mean,
and girls were not my thing. I thought my best friends were always guys in high school and in college, because I can't do catty girls. I can't do, we haven't seen each other brunch in a while. Like, I don't do that well. Like, I'm real busy. Okay. Like, living my real life, and I don't have time for brunch most of the time. Like, I'm sorry.
And here's the thing about brunch. If I eat brunch, I'm going to be hungry at 3. Okay. Supper's going to be a long ways away.
Yes. Oh man. Go Red Raiders. Woo-hoo! Guns up. Suns up. Yeah. Miss Lubbock USA 2005, back in the day. But the things that we go through, they mold us. Right. And I had to go up against some really gorgeous girls who were really incredible for a lot of reasons. I met a lot of incredible people in the pageantry world. And there's a lot about the pageantry world I also hated. But what I did take away from it that I share, I actually am speaking to a group in town that it's like etiquette for girls. And we're not going to talk about just like, how do you stand, which I can do. I coached pageantry too for a while, right? We can do how you stand, and we can do like how you look, and what a French turn is and all those pieces. But we also are going to do, this is how you build your confidence from the inside out. And it doesn't matter X, Y, and Z. What matters is what is happening in your head and in your heart. So you're going to hit people that don't like you. You're going to find people that are prettier than you in places, people that are more competitive than you. And really, you have to figure out what's your why and what are you fighting for, and how can you believe in yourself despite the noise.
Yep.
Right?
The Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so he is. And if you can get that on the inside, then it's going to come out.
Yes.
That was one of the biggest things for me in prison. And God did a lot in my life when I was in prison. One of the things he did was, for about 2 or 3 years, every ministry that came in, or not every, but probably 3 or 4 of them that came in, were teaching on your identity in Christ. And who you really are in him, and how no matter what you've done to end up where you're at, it does not matter.
Doesn't define you.
It doesn't define you, and it's not swayed who God made you to be.
That's right.
So if you can get it in your head who you really are, then you're going to live it.
And that his opinion is really the only one that matters.
Yes, the only one that matters.
Yeah.
If you can get it in your head that you're a child of God, you're a king and a priest, you're his daughter and son, then all of a sudden, oh, wait, I'm not a felon. That label doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Chris, you're incredible.
Yeah. It was a good few years in prison. It was a good few
Love
years.
that. Oh
Yeah.
my God. How are we talking about pageantry and prison? This is how you know LinkedIn at night is the place to be, you
Yes,
guys.
that's what I'm talking about.
Did not want to even talk. I mean, why did I talk about pageantry? I don't even know. But you know what? What the tie that does bind is what's going on inside of your own head and heart.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like in any space that you're in, what's going on in your own head and your heart, and how do you handle those pieces to make yourself your best you, so that your best you shines out to your circle of influence and influences your positivity or your confidence or whatever it is that you're influencing. Or, and I talk about this too, like, what's your legacy? Because reality is this: good, bad, or ugly, people going to remember you.
That's exactly right.
It's going to happen.
Yep.
The question is, how do you want to be remembered? Right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be remembered as a negative Nancy. I don't want to be remembered as somebody who struggled with confidence despite what people were saying. Go get them. You can do this. I want to fight my own head and the issues that maybe I had to fight in my life, because we all got our things. We all have our things.
All have our stuff. And, you know, if you can get that stuff in your head, the confidence and who you are and how amazing you are as a person and all that kind of stuff, if you can get that in your head and live it, then the lows are still going to be low, but you're going to find you have the strength to wade through the oomph. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and you're going to build a circle of influence that mirrors you, right? So, and I, you know, even clientele, kids in the classroom, like, and I did little pieces on this. Like, you're going to attract what you are. So if you're normally a positive Patty who lifts others up when you're struggling, you know what? You're going to have a posse of people that have trained in lifting people up and have loved on lifting people up, because they're your people, right? Like you're going to have this mirror effect. So, and my mama always said, you are who you hang with. And I thought, well, that was just for my brother because he was a little cray cray. And I thought he picked real good friends when he was in school. And she would get so mad at him, and she'd be like, you are who you hang with. But the truth is, it's true. If you hang out with negative Nancy's, guess what? You are going to be a negative Nancy. And if you hang out with people that are lifting each other up and being kind, because we're all going to have bad days. So who do you want around you during that bad day? That's beautiful. Yeah, Chris, you're so right.
And like you said, I don't want the fake person, the one that's all that acts like they have Kool-Aid coming out of their water fountain. That's the fake, happy all the time.
Yeah.
I want somebody that's real.
I do.
Because you can be real without being negative.
Yep.
It's okay to be, you know, say, hey, I'm going through this, or this past month has been terrible. It doesn't mean you're being negative. It just means you're being real.
Yeah. Yep. Totally agree with
that. Yep.
I'm glad somebody's on point.
I know.
Thanks, LinkedIn user.
Yeah, that is Loopy. That's Loopy.
Okay. Hey, Loopy. Thanks.
So it's really weird. I've got the live show going on over there on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I can see the comments, and over here she shows up as her name, but somehow when it
comes to me,
when it comes over here to us, it says
forgive
LinkedIn
me,
user.
Loopy.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, but that's why I keep LinkedIn up on one side, is so I can see all the ones that.
Yeah.
So I know who it is.
Kenny said he never has bad days.
Kenny. Never.
Kenny.
Your facial expressions are everything, man.
I mean, let's get our real ducks in a line. Oh, man.
He is always positive, though, and always encouraging.
I love that, though.
Super guy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I need that in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris, I know it's your birthday.
I
want to hear, and I do this with my kids at dinner. What was your favorite part of your day?
Man, I don't know. It was a really busy day today. I worked. Well, I was up late last night, so I'm running on like hardly any sleep, which I'm not used to.
Yeah.
And I was busy at work all day. probably the funniest thing that happened today is I got back from lunch and the other manager in this department, her office is right over there. I get back from lunch and I pull my chair out to get back in and there's a gift bag. That gift bag right there.
Yeah.
Was under my desk and she had
goodies.
Those Fritos that are sitting right there.
Yeah.
You see how messy my office really is. Those Fritos and that strategic camera angles. Those Fritos, a can of bean dip because she knows that's what I like. I like Frito scoops and bean dip.
Yeah.
And she had some Reese's in there.
Oh.
And and I got down to the bottom and there's a Walmart bag. It was flat and it filled up the whole bottom. And I was like, what is that? And I pulled it out and it wasn't a whole brisket, but it was, you know how you can buy like a half a brisket, just the thin end. She had a raw brisket in there because she knows I like smoking brisket. So,
shut up.
Yeah, so she had a raw brisket.
That's how you know you're in Texas.
Yeah.
Friends buy you raw brisket for your birthday.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like,
how you know.
Yeah, I just got up and walked in there and gave her a hug. I was like, that's awesome. Thank you for that.
Aww.
And then she said something else is coming at 4 too. And I was like, okay. And this was at 1. And so a little after 4, one of my old employees who doesn't work here anymore showed up with a cake and a gift card to Chili's.
Cool.
And so they came in and sang happy birthday to me and I blew out the candle and all that.
That's so fun.
Yeah. So it was a good day.
That's awesome.
And then I think I was telling you this backstage. Like I got probably over 100 DMs today. They were just rolling in almost as fast as I could answer them.
Yeah.
And then 3 people did posts wishing me happy birthday.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So it was good. It was a lot of LinkedIn love today, guys.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
It was awesome.
We all need that on our birthdays. I'm glad that you had a great day. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I like pointing out the good in our days.
Right.
Of it in yours. So.
Yeah, there was. It was a good day.
Good.
Yep. Well, cool.
Yeah.
What else we want to talk about?
I don't know. Hey, how about we take it from the comments?
Okay. All right, guys.
Somebody give us a topic for our last rolling combo.
Yeah. Somebody give us a
I
topic.
sip my coffee.
Yeah, coffee at 10 o'clock at night.
I was telling Chris, he said, how do you sleep after coffee? And I said, I have more work to do after this.
Oh.
So I'm not going to sleep.
So how many hours a day do you generally work? Do you generally work this late every day?
Yeah, well, I told you that, and I don't think I told this I think it was backstage. So I'm getting a master's in executive coaching and consulting.
Yeah, no, you said that on. You said that live. Yeah.
Sorry. So that's probably 15 to 20 hours that I spend on making sure that I'm invested in that and that it's good. And I really love that. I love growing myself in that way. It's an incredible program. And then, of course, I'm trying to, my speaking and consulting and coaching, keep that afloat. I'm trying to learn all of the, parts of marketing yourself, which I think is probably my weakest link, is learning those pieces. And then I have my Angela State director job that I'm part-time. And then I have my kiddos. I have a 4th grader and a 1st grader, and my husband's a farmer. And so, I'm a single mom sometimes of the year during harvest and planting season.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. Kenny, I promise I drink 100 ounces of water a day on top of the coffee that I have in the morning and at night. And I don't always drink it at night, only when I'm like having to do homework at night. But I do drink 100 ounces of water every single day. That is no lie. I have a big jug.
So if you drink that much water, if you drink that much water a day, do you just like have your computer set up in the bathroom? Do you have a desk in there?
I mean, if we want to talk about bodily functions.
No, I'm not trying to go there at all.
I mean, you drink a lot of water, you have to go to the bathroom more.
Yeah.
But what does amaze me is that I've got coworkers down the hall that like go to the bathroom once all day. And I'm like, really? You need to drink more water, friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that is not right.
Yes. Okay. Alex has a topic. What is it?
Internally mindset changes.
Yes. Internalizing. And that's a great topic. I feel like you already just, what is internalizing mindset changes?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Why don't you explain that?
let's talk there. And you know what, Alex, I'm wondering if I'm going to say the same thing that your coaches have said, but really it's pretty, I mean, it's as simple as what the words are, is what is happening in your mind and what are you creating? Whatever you're creating up here is going to come out. So if I'm creating up here that I'm not confident, guess what? Not being confident is going to be what comes out. So you have to tell your own story. I'm a storyteller. I believe in the power of storytelling. I love the idea of creating a narrative. Matter of fact, when I was an interp coach, I'm like, how can we create a story for that character? Like, it really is a great exercise for fun. But when you're cross applying it to yourself, is what is your narrative, right? What story are you telling yourself? What are you internalizing about your success? What are you internalizing about your happiness? What are you internalizing about your goals? Because whatever you're putting up here is going to come out here. Just like drinking that 100 ounces of water. Whatever you put in, you're going to get out. I had to. I could not.
That was a perfect object lesson.
You know what? Your skin will be better. Your diet will be better. Anyway, so put in the good stuff is what I'm saying.
Yes.
You gotta put in the good stuff. And I mean, it really starts with where is your mindset? And what are you telling yourself? What is the narrative that you share with your own head and heart every day? What are you communicating with your own head and your own heart? Because that internalization is going to be really crucial to your success. One of the things that I've done in some of my coaching sessions with clients that have struggled with that is I made them write it down. Like, okay, I want you to create Julie 2.0. Who is the Julie you want to be, right? What does she look like? I want you to describe her to a T. I want you to figure out exactly who she is, because reality is she already exists inside of me, right? So when I put that pen to paper, right? And then write those affirmations. I am X, Y, and Z. I am accomplishing this. I am able to do this. And then with our affirmations, we create action plans. I love this tidbit. 1979, Harvard did a study. They asked all their seniors, the one question is, have you written down your goals and your plan? Okay. It's like 84% were like, no, I mean, like, I just graduated Harvard, right? Like, I don't have a goal and a plan, but I'm gonna contribute to 'the world as you know it. You're welcome.
Right.
And then like,
because I graduated Harvard.
I mean, hello. I mean, I get it. Like, I did not graduate Harvard. 13% said, well, I've written a goal, but I haven't necessarily written a plan, but my goal is written down. We're talking about like the actual, I'm going to put the pen to paper.
Right.
And then 3% said, yeah, I've written a goal and I've written a plan. 10 years later, they went back and they talked to those seniors, and here's what they found. That 13%, they were making 2 times more money than the 84%. But that 3%, the 3% who wrote their plan, who wrote their goal, so they created a vision, they created an action plan, they were making 10 times more money. And the truth is that sometimes when you store it up here, it only gets you so far. So I really believe in the power of, yes, you got to change the narrative in your head, but it's really therapeutic to put it down. And I believe in the power of writing it down and holding, and I talk about notes too. I think there's a lot of power in giving somebody a note, because by first period, when that kid's having a bad day, and you're telling them, hey, you're going to be fine. Let me know if you need anything. It's not as impactful as slipping them a note that says, let me know if you need anything. I hope you have a good day, because 7th period, they can hold on to it, right? Like, same thing for all of us. If I've got this internalization up here, what does my affirmation say? So when I struggle, I can get my affirmation back out, the one that I wrote down that says, you are confident, you are creative, or whatever it is. And what does creative look like? Here's my action plan, right? So I love in my coaching sessions to make people create who their Julie I want to be is, and affirm that. What are my affirmations? And then what does that look like? How are you going to get there? What does it look like? Create an action plan for confidence. What's a confidence look like to you? Because it is a plan. It's writing out a plan. I think today I posted about goals. Like, it's not just about like, I'm going to be confident. That's my goal. It's about, look, every single day I'm doing something to accomplish that goal. Score. It's like losing weight, right? Like you can't be like, I'm going to lose 20 pounds and I'm going to just sit in all this worrying until I'm 20 pounds lighter. It's going to be, oh my gosh, I lost a pound. Oh my gosh, I worked out today. Oh my gosh, I drank more water today. Go me every step of the way. You gotta celebrate all of the parts. So that means you've got to have a plan for all the parts. And so power of goal setting and internalizing. And Alex, we just took that and I ran with it so far away. I hope that's even any help.
I love how that is just so right in line with everything I learned about my identity in Christ that I was talking about. Like they would give us pieces of paper that had I am statements on it, but they were right out of scripture. Like I am a child of God. I am, not condemned. I am forgiven. I am whatever. I'm a king and a priest, and just all this stuff, those I am statements, it aligns so perfectly with what you're saying about internalizing that mindset.
Yeah.
And you can use those same biblical principles in anything, whether it's confidence or everything. Yep.
Hope in him, man.
That's it.
Hope in him.
Loopy,
Alex,
thanks for stopping by. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good, Alex.
Yeah. So many neat people have jumped on it. Really, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us this late.
Yeah, I do too. It was a blast. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for asking me. I can't believe we're doing LinkedIn Live on your birthday. I mean, I'm going to say it again. Happy birthday. I hope your rest of you need to celebrate. Tomorrow's Friday. You need to celebrate the rest of the weekend. Every day, do something fun for you.
I might call in tomorrow.
I think you should.
I think I should too.
You just put it on LinkedIn Live. So what I'm going to say is, Chris, your cough is getting worse. It's weird because I don't know if you should go to work tomorrow. There's things like COVID. I think you should really work on that.
Yeah, my mom lives next door to me.
We'll have you some green tea, right, Kenny? Yeah.
Yeah, early. Kenny, man, look, 10:30, 11 o'clock, my butt is usually in the bed.
I agree, Kenny. It's early. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, but Chris, your cough is back. You might should call in tomorrow.
Yep.
Alex, you're awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys. Chris, I appreciate you. You're incredible.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. This is the highlight of my day right here.
This was the highlight of my day. I was going to share that earlier. My favorite part of the day was definitely this with you.
Well, thank you.
Especially because it's your birthday.
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing it with us.
Yep. All right. Awesome. Well, I'll let you get back to your rat killing. Hate for that coffee to go to waste.
I love it. Okay.
Nathan. Where have you been, Nathan? Have you been lurking this whole time and haven't said anything?
And at work, he says.
Yeah. And at work. I had to come back to work, Nathan. You know the internet situation. All right. Now that we're fixing to close, he's doing this on purpose, I'm sure. He's going to try and keep the chat going.
Yeah. And that's the question we're all going to leave with as homework today is what the hell is wrong with you? How are we going to internalize that into a positive manner for our
I may start doing my lives at 9 o'clock at night now.
I love it. Okay. Good night, Chris.
All right. Yeah. Good night, Julie. Thank you.
Good night, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah.